Yo, what is on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you are not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell, and yeah, let's go ahead and get right into today's video. So if you guys cannot tell, I'm in the cockpit of the 2022 BMW M4 competition. And this thing is absolutely beautiful on the interior. So beautiful even, I decided to rock a Hawaiian shirt today because the interior on this car is so abstract, I had to match that energy. But yeah, today we're gonna be talking about the interior on this vehicle. And I feel like for the first time in a very, very long time, BMW has made an interior on one of their, M3s, M4s that really is just absolutely stunning in every way. And I was a fan of the F80 M3 interior, but even then, it's not mind-blowing. It's a very simplistic interior. But on the G platform, it's absolutely astonishing. I mean, everything from front to rear feels nice, looks nice, and overall just is nice. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and break everything down and kind of just talk about the interior of the car and all the things that I've noticed that you probably wouldn't notice, immediately in a picture. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right into today's video. And so this is the Kyalami Orange color. Pretty sure I just butchered the enunciation of that, but it looks absolutely wicked. I mean, even outside the car, if you were just looking inwards on this car as you walked by, it is one of the first things you notice. And it's all the little details. Like if you look really closely right here, you can see the little bits of orange on the inside of this black going down, and it looks like a wave going through. You can look really closely and see that design. M4 lights up right here at nighttime, and overall the entire interior on this car is absolutely wicked, and it looks like the best interior BMW's designed in a very, very long time, in my opinion, especially for the M3s and M4s. So looking along the door card, it looks extremely sport oriented, angular, aggressive, and especially in this orange color. I mean, it looks like, if I was just looking at this door panel out of complete context, it looks like Lamborghini, Ferrari, like Porsche-esque. And I love this little latch right here to open and close the door. I feel like that itself, like I said, guys, it looks very, very high performance sport car-esque. And I do love that. So let's go ahead and close the door and hop in the rest of the interior. Let's go ahead and power the car on with this little centered push start button. We have our little M key fob, put that in here. So one of the first things that I noticed on this car was how well the digital dashboard is laid out. I think it's extremely modern. So you can see if we give this thing some revs, you can see it goes up. But I love the digital dashboard on the G Series M4, and you can basically adjust all the information that gets displayed right here on the steering wheel with all these different buttons. So you can see if I, let's say, hit this, I can go through to my Bluetooth devices and it'll show the music that I'm playing actively on there. Obviously, I'm not playing anything right now. And then right here, we can cycle between your inputs. So we have the radio, the news, etc. We have the voice assistant button that if you hold, will pop up the voice assistant. So whether you have a Google device or an iPhone, it's going to go ahead and display that right there in the middle. And then on this side, you have more of your driver functions. So you have your assisted driving and everything else. So by punching that, it basically keeps your lane in check. It's not like Tesla quality where it's gonna, drive for you, but it keeps you in your lane to where all you really have to do is minimal steering and then have your foot on the gas. So it's actually a super nice feature. I thought I would plug that into the video really quickly. Yeah, super nice. And then off to the right over here, we have our main merging safety feature. So if you start to stray off into the next lane, the steering wheel will correct for you. So I think those are two very, very impactful features. I thought I'd plug this little short video clip in of me driving the car just to show you. Another sick touch is when you punch these M buttons and you throw everything in the sport settings and it's set. You can see that'll pop up the sport dashboard. I think that's extremely sick. We'll even show you right here what your engine's set to. So efficient, your suspension, your steering, and everything else. That is extremely sick. Everything's so linear. I do love the sport section for the digital dashboard. And then the other segment that we had it on is more like if you're cruising, if you have your maps and etc., will pull up in the middle. But the sport sector for the digital dashboard looks extremely nice. And so now going to the middle of the car, we have this huge touchscreen display, and this is all controlled obviously by touch and by our little multimedia iDrive knob located right here. So obviously there's everything you expect. You have your media, which is going to link through Bluetooth or via aux. It does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto built in. You have your navigation, you have all your apps and etc. But let's go ahead into car. From here, we actually have an M menu that if we head into, the two M buttons located on the left and right, you can actually set specific parameters and options to each M button. So let's say I want to configure M button 1, I can change how I want it to behave. So let's say I want the engine to be sport, and then let's go to like chassis. I want the chassis to behave in Sport Plus. I can do that. So steering, obviously, if I'm doing an M button, I would like it in Sport. Yeah, you can basically go through and accommodate these two M buttons and specifically put the values and how you want them to react right here in the multimedia system. I think that is really sick, actually. So we have our vehicle status. Obviously, it's going to tell you like the well-being of the car. So oil, tire pressure, etc. if you have any outstanding issues with the car. And then we'll go ahead and punch through to settings. And once you're in settings, you can dial in a lot of different things on the car. Obviously general, it's like your date, time, etc. So exterior lighting. So you can accommodate the one-touch turn signal. You can put if you want it to do 1 time, 3 times. You can set your daytime driving lights here, your door handle lights, how long you want the pathway lights to stay lit up. So it's basically gonna light up the surroundings around the car as you're coming up to it and etc. We'll head into driver assistance, and once you're in driving assistance, you can basically set everything driving related. So let's go safety. And you have your side collision warning. You can set it, I have it off, but you can set it to on. It'll let you know if you're about to collide into someone or turn into someone, etc. And it'll even divert your steering. So let's say I'm about to merge into a lane and there's someone next to me and I try to merge, it'll divert you back if I'm going over a certain speed limit. 20 miles an hour is that speed limit. And then forward collision, it's going to detect if someone's out in front of you and automatically apply the brakes if you're about to hit them. And the thing I do enjoy is you can put your steering intervention on or off. That way the car doesn't act up, you know, and do something you don't want it to. Like if I see someone next to me and there's a specific reason I'm trying to get over, the last thing you want is to try to get over and the car's safety system starts acting up and pulls you back to the left over and over. So if I was swerving off of the road, I can set the steering wheel vibration to an exact parameter that I would want. And here next to the hazards, you can see once you punch this button right here, it's going to illuminate all the different intelligent safety options. So you have all on, individual, and then you can configure the exact individual safety options that you want. But this is very unique. You can see if I hit individual, at least one intelligent safety system is deactivated, and then you can configure in here the exact safety systems that you want enabled. So that is very nice. At the flick of a button, you can turn on the exact customizable safety systems that you want for yourself, or you can just keep them all on. And you can see if I hit individual, this turns orange. If I hit all on, it'll turn green. Here in doors and vehicle access, we can basically put how we want everything to react. So with the key and etc. So lock in a few minutes, lock after starting to drive, unlock at the end of the trip, you know, etc. I am so pleased with the fact that BMW has ambient lighting in here and they're able to change the color. And you can even set the brightness. You can crank it all the way up. You can see how predominant it is now. So that's down. And then all the way up, you can see how noticeable it is now. And you can really see it right over here. Yeah, and everything else is really just like your dual climate control and how your key reacts and etc. But overall, I think the highlights that I would say of the multimedia section would be the wireless CarPlay / Android Auto, and then the ability really to dial in all your different safety options, and as well the interior lighting. I think that right there does it for me. And so now everything else on the interior is everything you'd expect. So you have your heated seats, your dual climate zones where you can adjust, you know, exactly how you want your air to reflect and how you want it to, you know, distribute air amongst the cabin. And now I do want to talk about this section right here, so I'm going to go ahead and remove my drink. Prime is amazing, guys. You should go ahead and buy some. This is not sponsored, but amazing drink. So let's go ahead and pull this huge cover down. And look how aesthetically nice this looks. But by pulling that back, you can see we actually have a wireless charging pad right here. You can go ahead and throw your phone or anything else in there, your AirPods, and throw it in there and it'll charge any of those devices. As well, obviously you have a USB slot right here, and then your standard 12-volt cigarette lighter located there. But I do like this wireless charging option. And really this whole center console area just looks very nice. I mean, the way this all flows into each other and into the car. Now we're going to talk about is really this knob, and this is a very welcome change. The F80 M3, one of the top things I loved about it was the dual clutch transmission. Love being able to shift at unbelievable speeds in milliseconds. But one of the top things I hated about it also was the dual clutch. And I feel like that really got changed with this platform having a dedicated park button. So you can see when I click park here, it illuminates. It also reflects on the dashboard. But the dual clutch transmissions on the F platform, one of my top pet peeves was there's no park button. So really you would have to just kick it over and drive, and the car would be in drive, and then you just turn the car off. And that's fine and all for peace of mind, and I guess just for the average person who isn't necessarily a car guy. For someone who isn't, I think just having a dedicated park button is one of those little things that is much appreciated. So being able to just throw it in park like that and then let your foot off, I feel like that is a lot more reassuring. But this is a welcome change. I actually really do approve of having a little park button there. So right next to our park button, we have our little selector for how aggressive transmission is shift. As you click this up, it'll reflect on the dashboard, but 3 is the most aggressive, 1 is the least aggressive. So if you're in comfort mode, you'll have it at 1 little tick. And if you're in like sport mode, probably 2, and then Sport Plus, you'll have it in 3. But overall, it feels really nice in hand. It looks extremely futuristic. You can see there's like a little gap in the middle. Put my pinky through it. So here we have our traction control, our parking sensors, our auto off button, because nobody should ever keep this, you know, disabled. You don't want your car to keep turning on and off every time you're idle. M mode, this is what's going to change the digital dashboard to displaying the more aggressive settings. So M mode, casual. So here we have our exhaust button. This is what's going to make the exhaust resonate a lot louder. So how we have it now, you won't hear it as predominantly. Click that button and you immediately start to hear it in the cockpit a lot more. Maybe if I hold the camera closely, you'll hear it. And then from here, obviously we have our parking brake switch. It'll show you that the car is in park on the dashboard with the parking brake engaged. But yeah, I really do love the way how they centered all of this in the middle. It feels a lot higher quality. When you're reaching over to start the car, you're not fumbling around having to feel for a push start button over here. This is very central, very redesigned, and overall just looks extremely aesthetic. Yeah, the whole multimedia system and all the controls and everything being centralized, and really everything in that aspect of the car is amazing. And I have one more thing I want to talk about because it's something I love on the interior of this car, and that would be the sound system. The Harman Kardon sound system in here is absolutely great. The treble is amazing, the highs are great, the mids are great, the lows are great. It reverberates bass extremely well. And overall, no matter what music you play, it's an overall experience, and it just sounds phenomenal in here. And now it's not anything new that BMW's Harman Kardon sound systems, you know, sound great. I mean, really, I think since my BMW E46, I had a Harman Kardon sound system in there, and even that sounded pretty great. But the sound system on this car is amazing. I mean, there's so many different speakers. You can see that huge mesh right there where one of the speakers is located. We have them up top, really going all around the car. I would play something for y'all, but I'd get copyrighted for playing somebody else's music, so I won't. But you'll just have to take my word for it or search up in the forums. The sound system on here is stellar. And here, if you just go to general, you can actually explore all the sound system settings. So we have the Logic 7 surround sound system, and it sounds extremely good. And I actually typically keep the surround sound setting right about here, treble, bass, and then you have your balancer, your fader, equalizers, and all that stuff. And you can actually fine tune all of the different bands down from your lows where it says bass to your highs over there. And this sound system is freaking legit. I really wish I could play y'all some audio so you could hear like the bass reverberate and everything in here. But like I said, I don't want to get this video copyrighted, especially with the Logic 7 surround option enabled. Sounds phenomenal. You can see another little M touch that BMW threw on here, especially because it's a competition. We have the custom little M seat belts with the M striping. But yeah, guys, overall, I am in love with this interior. I'm in love with this orange color. All the small little details, the ambient lighting, how the trim wraps around on the car, the centralized controls, even the little door handles, how you can just slip a finger through. It feels very like high performance-esque. And the F platform for the M's, as much as I love it, you know, if I was buying it to own, You know, I would love those because they're not too modern. You could still DIY a lot of things. In terms of like, if you have the money and you have the resources, this interior, you know, spec for spec, is absolutely not even close. It blows the F platform out of the water, and hands down, BMW went above and beyond every single little touch. And it being a competition just makes it all the more better. How everything feels, how everything looks, this orange color, I just can't get enough of it. It's very beautiful. It's extremely nice. So BMW really outdid themselves. 10 out of 10 on this one. If you guys like this video, go and smash that thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any questions at all, or if you have any input on if you like these or not. Go ahead and smash the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Hit that notification bell so you can stay in the loop on all the videos to come. As always, I really do appreciate y'all for the support, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out.